What's going on, guys? It's the Filthy Casual, back with another Diablo 3 video. Today got some great news. 265 public test realm was dropped. We've got the patch notes, we've got some information about the season theme. So I've been waiting for this for quite a while. So there's some pretty big news in here, pretty interesting. So let's just dive right into it. So we're going to get a PTR to test season 17. It's only going to last a week, which is a bit short, but we can see straight away, bring the terror, it's the season of nightmares, so yeah, it's going to be a LON season, so that's going to be quite interesting. So PTR is going to start on the 5th of April, and we're going to get 1 week to break the game. Now obviously on console you can't play PTR, you've got to be on desktop, but you're going to get 1 week of increased legendary drops, increased blood shards, and we're going to get to test and have a play around with all the various changes they've made. So it's the usual stuff. They want us to try and break the game and all that kind of stuff. So there's PTR tips if you've never used it before, and this is the big stuff. This is the patch notes. So it's got some quality of life stuff, but this is big. General Torment 14, 15 and 16 have been added to the game. These are extra difficulty levels. I'm not sure how I feel about this, because with everything getting juiced, I quite like the fact that you could do T13 with pretty much anything, and you didn't kind of feel pigeonholed into certain builds. And this is just going to be the end of T13 now. Nobody's going to be making guides on how to do T13. It's all going to be how to do T16. You know, 14 and 15 you may as well not have. I mean, I don't know, we'll see how they work. We'll see what rewards you get for doing the levels. We'll see what extra mats you get. So in a way I'm a little bit sad, but you know, let's be positive, let's take the good from it. You're going to surely get extra XP, you're going to get extra mats, you're going to get extra keys, you know, extra DBs and that sort of thing. Now these next two items I think are pretty interesting. You've got portals left behind by treasure goblins may occasionally lead to somewhere utterly ridiculous. So I suppose that's getting you to the cow realm. You know, that's quite interesting. Using an ancient or primal ancient puzzle ring in Kanai's cube will produce a new result. That might take you to the cow realm. You know, maybe it'll be a new area. That would be pretty interesting. There's a few other interesting bits here for changes, like for PC and stuff, but you know, not terribly important. Quality of life, there's a couple of really interesting bits in there, something we've all bitched about for a long time. PC, extra 5 stash tabs, that's brilliant, that's absolutely awesome. Everybody's always running out of stash space, and even my fellow console players, 140 extra spaces in the stash, that's huge. I'm constantly running out of space. It means I don't have to sort through my stash at the end of this season, which is something I've been putting off and dreading doing, so that's great. And you're also going to get searchable stash. I don't know if they mentioned, yeah, search functionality for PC. Console, you kind of get that because everything's broke down on your little wheel, but for PC, that's really huge. Searchable stash, you can save you loads of time looking for crap. You can now get DBs in Heradric caches. Be interesting to see how many. You know, it's a bit of a change, but not particularly groundbreaking. Now the season of LON. This is really interesting. It's interesting because once you start to be able to unlock level 70 gear and you get ancient drops, you're going to get a 750% multiplier for your damage. It's going to mean the kind of going from 70 to full set is going to be really easy, like ridiculously easy. You just have to find yourself 1 or 2 ancient pieces and you will be absolutely good to go. There are some changes to a few items which we'll come to in a minute, but this is going to make Necro really OP. Necro already is pretty much matching the other classes for LON, so the top Necro build is Legacy of Nightmares. It's doing about 130 I think at the moment, and you're going to give it 2 extra ring slots. That's absolutely crackers. You know, you'll definitely be able to have COE and Crispies in every LON build. You know, LON mages, you're going to be able to have the Circle of Naluji Vault and the COE and the Crispies. You know, that's Necro's just gonna I've complained for so long that Necro needs a buff, and none of the Necro sets have been touched, so my point still stands, but crikey, it's going to be so strong. But yeah, it's going to be interesting. Are you excited for LON? Let me know in the comments. I think it's a potentially pretty cool season theme. Definitely going to get me playing it next season. Now we have a new item, that's always good. Unfortunately, it's a potion. So it's the bottomless potion of the unfettered, and it basically gives you immune to CC for 5 to 7 seconds. So nothing terribly amazing. A lot of classes have already got CC immunity built in, but you know, if you want to take it, you can. Now looking at the legendary items, there's a few buffs and there's not that many. Now 2 of these go together, so we'll cover them at the same time. Khan's leniency, your blessed shield is getting buffed from 15-20% up to 75 to 100%, and also the Jack and board is getting changed as well. So again, blessed shield is going to get a little bit of a damage tweak, so that'll be quite interesting, because I think that Captain America could well make a comeback next season. Legacy of Nightmares is a much better way to play that than the Khan set anyway, with you getting LON for free. Yeah, that's quite interesting. The next item is something I argued for like absolute buggery in my Necro needs a buff video, and that is the Blood Tithe Blade has been juiced, so Death Nova now deals an extra 3 to 400% damage for every enemy within 25 yards. So that's 3 or 4 times the amount of damage, so that's a really good change. It's going to go LON, that's just the way it is. Like the Tragul set will benefit from this, but LON is where the mind goes, because the multiplier is just so huge, and you know, that's where all of this stuff goes. Chantoto's will's getting changed. Now I haven't played Wizard for absolutely ages. This isn't a buff that you're going to be able to use Legacy of Nightmares with, because obviously it's a set, it's its own set bonus, but it's getting a pretty big multiplier, so that's going up by a factor of 4, so that's quite interesting. So that will be something to look out for Wizard players. Dagger of Darts has now got a multiplier, so you know, that's interesting for Witch Doctor. The Iron Rose, this change doesn't make any sense. I haven't quite figured this out. If maybe somebody could help me in the comments with it. I don't really get how Siphon Blood causing Blood Nova is going to be particularly useful, because it's a 40 to 50% proc chance anyway. It's basically getting doubled. I don't know, maybe there's maybe there's something in that with LON. Jack and Bull we've covered. Now this is interesting, this is a fun one I think. Sage set will now double the amount of DB drops. So Sage builds are going to be back with Passion. So instead of getting 1 extra DB, you can get double. Sorry, bumped the mic there. This is bad for Necro in a way, because Necro can't use the Sage set really. I have made a guide, and I'll ping it in the cards in the description, for about the best that I can come up with for Necro for DB farming, but all the other classes are going to have way more DBs than Necro. So I don't know, maybe that's a trade-off with the Legacy of Nightmares. You know, it'll be easier to generate items with other classes, but LON's not going to be quite as strong, so you know, that's it's maybe interesting. There are some bug fixes. None of these I think are particularly interesting. So you know, that's it guys, we get a PTR in about a week's time, exactly a week I think, and we get to play around with these changes. What are you looking forward to? Do you think Legacy of Nightmares is a good season theme? You know, are you excited for the item changes? Do you think it's going to make any difference? Is it going to bring you back to the game? You know, are you excited? Let me know. As always, I've been the Filthy Casual, and I'll catch you in the next video. Peace.